you see young girls in IDP camp, most times is some of them have lost hope. Some don't really have anyone to help them. Some don't even have anyone to push them. You understand, to push them to probably go to one or two things to be able to see that they come out. Some accept their fate like that, and then they just believe they just belong there. So there's no point struggling to get better. My name is Charity Ifoma Onsu. I was formerly an internally displaced person.
If you were to describe Charity in just one sentence, what would it be?
Resilience.
So what's one moment in your journey that still moves you or resonates with you deeply?
I would say how I was able to transform, to be able to come out. It's actually not easy. Being internally displaced for about 11 months. In case we took shelter in a church, actually, and then maybe I have my parents, and there's this inbuilt will to succeed, inbuilt will to still further my education no matter what. Even while in the IDP camp, I was still pushing to get my result. I was still pushing to still want to further my education. And then I could remember there was this humanitarian organization that came to the IDP camp. Then they called them Voice of the Christian Martyrs. They came from Australia, and then when they came, they came and they were like asking young people, young girls, what do you want to be? One of them called me and she was asking, okay, now you're here, what exactly is your dream? What do you want? I told her that I want to go back to school. I want to be an engineer. That's what I dreamt of being. There was this look in her eyes, like it now pushed her to like, okay, probably we can help your parents, get them a place outside the camp, then you get them a house outside the camp. How do they feed? They don't have a means of livelihood and all of that. So it's actually they wanted to help, but probably they don't really know how best to help us out. So it was really not easy, but then we actually pushed through.
Let's say your first big break, or what you consider the first big break. What was your first thought? Then what did you do next?
Okay, I would say my first big break was when I was offered a job in the bank after my degree. I went for training school for 6 months in Abuja, and then when I was posted to the branch, and when the offer came and the amount, when the money started dropping in my account, I was like, God, my thought was like, God, I can imagine the transformation where I was coming from, and 3 months, I moved my people out. In fact, I rented an apartment. Everything I bought was new. I just said, pick your clothes, please, let's go. You understand? So it was like a new whole life. And my thoughts was like, oh God, look at where I'm coming from. But that resilience, because at some point while in school, at some point it got so tough that it was as if I should just quit. But I just kept on going because I knew there was no way going back. I just have to keep moving. And from there, it has been like awesome.
If you could write a letter to 15-year-old Charity, what would you say?
I will still dream, like I've always dreamt. I will still hope, but probably I would have tried to learn more skills. Learning skills like maybe vocational skills, or probably a digital skill.
What does hope mean to you, and what should it mean for every other person as well? What does hope mean to you?
Keeping your dream alive, being strong-willed and not giving up.
Okay. And finally, what's one piece of practical advice that you give to young girls and women who are currently displaced or who are transitioning, and generally feel invisible or forgotten? What advice can you give them?
I would say, whatever their hand find to do, they should do it very well. They should not just sit down and accept neglect or accept rejection, but rather they should still push. They should push, they should hope, they should be resilient, and keep dreaming, because as you dream, it keeps the hope alive, and it kind of pushes you to want to be the best of yourself so you can be able to achieve that your dream. Just sit down and wait for someone to give them fish. They should struggle to get the net and learn how to fish.